This is Seema, and today the lesson I'm going to bring you is one which is going to teach you about phrasal verbs related to dating. Well, dating is something that we do socially, when you want to go out with a guy or a girl. That's what dating is, right? So, phrasal verbs related to dating are something that we can use in our everyday conversation, right? Now, for those of you who don't know what a phrasal verb is a verb combined with a preposition like in, on, with, for, and so on. Okay, so let's see the different kind of phrasal verbs related to dating. Okay, the first one is hitting on. When do you hit on someone? You can hit on a boy, a guy, or a girl. So hitting on is the act of, doing, or shall I say, saying things which show that you are romantically or sexually interested in someone. So when you're doing or saying things to show that you are romantically or sexually interested. So for example, I go to a bar, and that's this really cute guy who wants to hit on me. So when he wants to hit on me, he's going to do something to show that he is romantically interested in me. So he might walk up to me and say, "Hi there, can I buy you a drink?" Well, he's hitting on me. Or maybe I'm just sitting in a restaurant and someone just compliments me, to show that they are interested in me romantically. Okay, so hitting on someone is basically doing or saying things that show that they are very, very interested in you. Okay, and they want to be more than just a friend. Okay, the next one is to ask out. Now, after you've hit on someone, you've shown that person that you are interested in them, you might want to ask that person out. You can ask her out if you're a guy, or you can ask him out if you're a girl. Okay, if that's how you do it. So asking someone out is basically inviting someone on a social encounter. So it's going to be a social encounter. This social encounter is called a date. Okay, so in romantic relationships, a social encounter is called a date. So, this guy likes the girl and he asks her out for lunch, or he asks her out for a movie, or he asks her out to dinner. Okay, so that's inviting someone for a social encounter, which is mostly called a date in romantic relationships involving dating. Okay, and the other phrasal verb related to dating is lead on. When do you lead a guy or a girl on? And what does that really mean? Leading somebody on is basically, giving false hope. You're giving someone a false hope that you are romantically interested in them. So, for example, I go out or you go out on a date, on a social encounter as we just saw, okay? But the guy tries to lead you on. He kind of gives you false hope that he's interested in something serious with you when he's actually not. Now, this is not a good thing because you should never lead someone on unless you're really interested, okay? So he may lead you on by calling you on a second date, or he may lead you on by maybe asking you to meet his parents, okay? But if he's not really interested, he should not lead you on. He should not give you false hope, okay? That's what it means. Now, some lucky people, after they go on the first social encounter or a date, they hit it off. So what is hitting it off? Hitting it off basically means to have a special chemistry or a special connection. You know how some relationships are. The first time you meet someone, you just hit it off. You have this special bonding, this special chemistry, this special connection, and you don't even know why. So that's what it means to hit it off. You kind of just know that this person is the right one for you. Okay? So after you hit it off, most of the times you fall for someone. So what is it to fall for someone in a relationship? It basically means being deeply in love. Sometimes some people call it being smitten. In case you want another word to your vocabulary, you might say, I'm completely smitten by this girl, or I'm completely smitten by this guy. In other words, you have fallen for her or you have fallen for him because you went out on a date, he asked you out, you hit it off on your first date, and now you've fallen for him. Okay, so be very careful, because sometimes if your relationship is not very good, you could just split up. Okay, now split up is not a very good thing. It basically means to break up or end the relationship. So when people are not in a relationship anymore, when people are not, going out on dates or, just being together or doing whatever people do in a relationship, they have split up for many reasons. They could have been in a fight or many other reasons. So they are no longer in a relationship. The relationship has ended for them. Okay. Now, before a split up occurs, before the actual act of separation occurs, couples tend to drift apart. What does it mean to drift apart? Drift apart is basically a condition when either of the people in the relationship, they go in opposite directions. So when they started the relationship, they may have hit it off. They may have had a special connection. But once they're in a relationship, due to many reasons, like maybe, the couple, when they're together, they work in different shifts, or they have different work timings. The guy works in a night shift, the girl works in a day shift, and they don't get time to meet each other. So they kind of drift apart. Or maybe their interests, which used to be the same, are no longer the same anymore. They have different goals in life. They want different things in life. And therefore, before actually splitting up, they start to drift apart. They try to go or move in different directions. And that's when they eventually end up splitting up or ending their relationship. Very sad. But that does happen sometimes. Sometimes relationships break up or split up because one of the partner tries to hook up with someone else. So hook up is basically having sex or having sex with someone as in a one night stand. Okay, so now don't get me wrong, you could also be hooking up with your partner, but hookup is basically a terminology you use when you are having sex with someone who's not your partner, or you are actually engaging in making out with people who are not really in a relationship with you. Okay, that's what it means. Sometimes when you have a big fight after a relationship, you might want to make up. What is it to make up? Make up is basically the act of making peace. In other words, this is called reconciling. After a fight. So maybe you had a fight wherein angry words were exchanged, things were said which should not have been said, and your relationship becomes a little bit bitter or sour, but then you think that it's not worth splitting up, it's not worth ending the relationship, and therefore you think it's better to make up. It's better to make peace or reconcile after a long fight or angry words that have been exchanged. Okay, and the next one is put up. Okay, what do you mean by putting up with something? So put up is mainly used with the word with. So you have a with after the put up. So if I say I put up with this man for 10 years, so it basically means to tolerate an annoying person, or tolerating someone who is really difficult to be with. Now let's face it, folks, everyone has a partner who has got something that is really difficult to put up with. Your partner may have some annoying habits, like maybe he drinks too much, or he spends too much, or he flirts with other girls, but you are putting up with him. You're trying to tolerate his habits, you are trying to tolerate his behavior. That's what it means to put up with someone. Okay, cheat on. Okay, well, cheat on is basically when you again sleep with someone or engage in any kind of physical intimacy with someone who is not your partner, which also mostly leads to a split up or a breakup. Okay, and the next one is jerk around. You can jerk someone around, so you can either jerk her around or him around, depending on whether the partner is a male or a female. Jerking someone around basically means that you are using someone to your advantage. To your advantage. So guess what? You've got a boyfriend who is very rich. So you're going to jerk him around. You're going to make sure that you get all the benefits of having him as a boyfriend, because he's got a very nice car, he shops for you, he takes you on international trips. So you're not really being in a relationship because you've fallen for him. You are in a relationship because you know that you can jerk him around, which means you can take good advantage of him in that relationship. That's what it means to jerk someone or her or him around. Okay. The next one is go out. Go out is a phrasal verb or an expression used to say that you are seeing someone or you are dating someone. So when people ask you, are you going out with Tim? If you are dating him, if you are actually going out on social encounters like dates with him and, hooking up with him and doing whatever it is that you have to do, that is called going out with a person. That means you are in a relationship with that person. Okay. And the last one is to settle down. Now, a settle down is basically a phrasal verb you use when you are in a long-term relationship. Which involves, having children, getting married maybe, or maybe getting a house together. So, you've been seeing this guy for 5 years or 10 years maybe, and then some people ask you, so when are you guys going to settle down? So they mainly mean that when are you guys going to get married or move in together or have children together. Okay, so these are the different phrasal verbs related to dating. Well, I hope you found it very interesting and very informative. I'll be back with some more lessons. Until then, this is me saying goodbye.